Next is mindset, and we gave a course on this the other a couple nights ago. Mindset is a way of working with your mind into continuing to survive. You'll hear stories about people who in hard situations who just really put their mind to it and they survived. But for every one of those stories, there's many other stories where people just gave up and quit. Okay, and this is a skill that can be taught. The enduring mindset is what we call it. Is a way of being so you and your family can endure whatever happens. Okay, because if some of these crises happen that we anticipate may happen in the future, we need to be strong.
Being responsible adults and citizens of this country, this great country of ours, if crisis happens, one of the things that marks Americans is that rugged, self-reliant individualism, and that is a mindset of if crisis happens, then I believe it's essential for us to be able to take care of our own. So the more of us that are prepared and skilled and have the mindset of, you know what, I'm going to take care of me and my neighbors and my community, the better off all of us are. I mean, the whole society is safer because certain people have the mindset in order to take care.
Colonel Grossman, I think, wrote a book about that, and he talked about sheep, being the most of humanity are sheep, and then God is the shepherd, and in between them is the sheepdog.
Right.
And the sheepdog look like the wolf. They sound like the wolf. They bark like the wolf. Okay, and it scares the sheep, and yet the sheepdog is there to protect the sheep, whereas the wolf is there, of course, to eat the sheep. So in this case, the more sheepdogs we can build in our society, the safer we're going to be. Next is equipment. Everybody's fun one, especially companies, right? They want to sell us equipment, they want to sell us gear, and man, this is one of the biggest questions I always get is, hey, what gun should I get? What backpack should I get? What this, that, radios, and what food? And
I need a kayak.
I need a kayak. You have to have the equipment, you have to have the knowledge how to use it, and you have to maintain the equipment. Everybody always forgets that, So in equipment, boy, there's a lot.
I found that, especially new preppers, they come to rely on the equipment. They're like, well, this equipment will take care of me. In reality, that's not what's really happening. Is you are utilizing that equipment and it amplifies your capabilities in order to communicate, in order to protect yourself, in order to work the ground, or whatever you need to do. That's what the tools do for you.
Next, fitness. Boy, if your body can't act, if it can't do what it needs to do, if you can't go down to the lake and get 10 gallons of water, if you can't carry your gun, if you can't walk the 10 miles between your work and your home, you're in trouble. You're dead. But people don't understand that. They don't get it. Think about a crisis situation. I mean, just look at all the stories between Katrina. People walked 20, 30, 50 miles to get out of Dodge, right? And they had their sick mother with them, and they had to carry them. They had their kids. And how do you do this if you don't have the muscle and the stamina to be able to do that? And in fitness is we focus on what works for us. What can we do every single day to get stronger, to get more healthy, and take care of ourselves, right? It's pretty simple, straightforward. Last domain is called mobility. So here's the deal. Mobility is getting from A to B, or B to C, and doing it safely.
And also knowing when to.
Here in Southern California, we have fires. We might have like 30 minutes to get out of Dodge, and where are we going? So mobility works with planning. Where are you going to go? How are you going to get there? and keeping your car, your bike, or your feet, whatever it is, running so you get from A to B safely.
And when it comes to mobility, the actual, your equipment that you use, your car, your bike, or whatever, is actually the easy part. That's just mechanical stuff. The hard part is knowing when and how to route plan. What are alternate routes?
Yeah.
What's the limits of the endurance or the capabilities of that particular vehicle or that particular mode of transportation?
As well as navigation. All right, that's the 11 domains of Ready5 that we teach. There is a 12th, and we call that money, okay, and finances, if you will. And because money makes all this stuff happen, we have to work, we have to go to work, we have to make enough money to buy food, to buy guns, to buy and just do all the things that we have to do. Because we are oriented around these 11, we don't orient around the 12 in that because there's a whole industry out there that does this. There's a lot smarter people than us. Now, we do know some of those folks, we refer some of those folks, but we've got to have money to make all this happen. So that's the 12. Those are the domains of preparedness. They all work together. If you're not taking care of one of them, you're going to have breakdowns, and the breakdown might be fatal. So as we work through our preparedness, we work in every one of those domains, being aware of what the weaknesses are, and depending on the situation around us, we might have to orient to the latest or the most likely threat coming our way. That's how we look at the 11 domains here at Ready5, and the 12 domains of preparedness. Anything to add?
Yeah, there's one thing that kind of glues all of this together is what are you looking to produce? Now, for us personally, we have a family that relies on us, and so despite all of the normalcy bias that we're surrounded by, right? And I may not be using that term exactly correctly, but it's appropriate here to where life feels normal. However, when you start looking at indicators of things that are happening, there's a strong possibility that things will not be as they are now. So when you're approaching all of these domains of what you're doing to actually prepare, you need to look at what you're willing to, what you wish to produce, right? And then from there, what are you willing to do in order to produce that? And then these 11 domains become tools or frameworks for helping you think to produce that situation in the future.
You know what? All of us say every day, hey, I'm going to get hit by a bus tomorrow. So, there's no guarantees in life. We're playing a game of probability here. And our job is about putting those odds in our favor. And that wraps up the 11 domains that we teach here at Ready5. You can check us out online at ready5.com, and we'll see you next time.